Ancient elites had ice shipped to them, then had treats added. The Greeks had snow cones with fruit and honey. Persians had a pudding made of rosewater and ice mixed with saffron and fruit. Proto ice cream was on the way. The Chinese may have invented frozen milk and rice dishes during the Han Dynasty over 2,000 years ago. Tang, king of Shang in 7th century China, had ice men creating an ice treat with flour, camphor, and buffalo milk. This could be considered ice cream. Marco Polo was given legendary credit for bringing China's ice and rice treat to Italy, but Arab traders may have been the ones bringing granita, still a major treat, in Sicily. The Arabs may have invented artificial freezing, or borrowed it from the Chinese, by mixing salt with ice, which melts into a cold slush. Sorbetto was also introduced by the Arabs into Sicily, adding sugar and fruit juices, especially orange. Ice cream was unknown in France, so the legend goes, until the Florentine Catherine de' Medici became French aristocracy during the 16th century and brought Sorbetto and her cooks with her. English King Charles I lost his head, so to speak, hiring a French chef with the frozen milk recipe. Custard and cream were added, and it was called creamed ice. An Italian opened Café Procop in Paris in 1686. Granted, it was a cafe, but included frozen waters, fruit ice cream, and sorbets. Le Procop is still around and considered the oldest restaurant in the world. Ice cream cafes became popular in Paris, and perhaps a couple hundred were opened over the next half century. Written recipes showed up in the 18th century. Many wealthy had their own ice houses and ice cream recipes, basically setting cream, sugar, perhaps some fruit in a bucket of ice and salt, a little stirring, then waiting for it to freeze. The French typically added eggs. Ices made of syrups were also popular. Ice cream came to America by the 18th century. The first ice cream parlor opened in New York in 1776. Not an ideal time, no matter how revolutionary. Both George Washington and Thomas Jefferson served some form of ice cream on their plantations. Before the end of the century, ice cream recipes were published in both England and America. Dolly Parton served ice cream celebrating husband James' first inauguration. The hand-crank churn used ice and salt for cooling to make ice cream and was patented in the U.S. during the 1840s. Nancy Johnson's 1846 invention used rotary paddles, and the Johnson patent ice cream freezer was patented in 1848. In England, it was Agnes Marshall. In the early 1850s, Jacob Fuzel built an ice cream plant in Baltimore. Refrigeration was key to ice cream factory success, and ice cream production went to 5 million gallons by 1900, then 150 million by 1919. Mechanical freezers were developed in the 1920s, and large-scale ice cream manufacturing was on the way. In addition to ice cream, technology also happened in the pharmaceutical industry. The results were Coca-Cola and the soda fountain. beginning next time on Food History and Mystery.